Can a question originate from the absolute, or does it require a person? I ask this because your reply always produces awareness beyond concepts that I have previously developed. So, yeah, it's always going to come from the character, but it doesn't mean that it's coming from an identified character or an identified place of the character. So if you think of us in a virtual reality, so I put on my virtual reality goggles and I become Anne, and you put on virtual reality goggles and you become Robert. So I'm Anne, you're Robert, and there in there can be a question. There can be two types of character. There can be a character which has remembered who it is as, well, no, that character doesn't remember that, but there can be two experiences. There can be a character in which awakenings happen, so there's been a remembering that I'm actually truly Lisa, and then that impacts the character, and the seeking for finding out who I truly am begins to dissipate and drop away, and the character changes and the seeking changes. And there can still be a question that arises from that character, but it's not coming from an identified place anymore. But it can't come from Lisa. It can sort of like, it's more like Anne can come from a more authentic Anne place, which is in a way you could say closer to God in a crass way, like closer to Lisa, because Lisa knows, because Anne knows that she's not Anne, so she has a sense of Lisa, but Lisa can't ask through Anne. Like Anne's always got to do the asking, but Anne's remembering. Yeah, that's just so confusing, eh? We just get into loops. But the question is no, questions always come from a character in time. So it can't come from the absolute, but simultaneously everything comes from the absolute. But what can happen is there can be a difference between seeking and asking a question and a place where it's arising out of the authentic, more authentic character that's at rest. It doesn't mean a question doesn't come. Thank you, Dan.